Welcome once again to the Ahern video podcast. Today I want to talk about driver recruiting. I'm constantly receiving emails and telephone calls and even texts. Help, I have no capacity. Help, I could do more business if I had more trucks. Help, I've got trucks but I don't have any drivers. Help, the driver population is aging. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm spending twice the amount of money on advertising and recruiting, and I still can't get drivers. And the saga goes on and on and on and on and on. Is there a capacity issue? Yes. Do we have an aging driver population? Yes. Do many people want to be truck drivers today? No. And why? Well, just look around you. Truck driving is one of the hardest jobs in the country. Truckers are the backbone of middle America. Everything that you have on your body, everything that's at your home, every medical supply that may have saved one of your children's lives or helped them recuperate quickly was delivered at some point in time by a truck. Now let's look at the winter this year. Worst winter we've had in what, 30 or 40 years? Can you imagine being in Green Bay, Wisconsin when it's 50 below zero? Or Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Chicago, Illinois, or wherever, or in the southeast where they never get snow, and these drivers are stuck in traffic and snowstorms, in frigid weather, with people that are aggravated. And then you have to remember, we are not the darlings of Wall Street. I think it was the editor of CC&J Commercial Journal that said the general public dislikes the trucking industry immensely, because they have these perceptions of who we are. They have no clue who we are, but they have these perceptions of who we are. Recently I happened to be talking to a client, and a dispatcher came in and he said, well, Jose just left. And so the owner said, well, he's been with us a long time. Why did he leave? He just got pissed off. And the owner says, well, I can't believe that. What happened? Nothing. I said, well, is he still here? Yeah, so I said to the owner, why don't you bring him in? So he brought him in, and he says, you know, I respect you, sir. I've been here a long time, but I had an emergency, and I told the dispatcher that I needed to get home immediately, and what does he do? He dispatches me further away. Now, this is a common reoccurring problem. And this is a problem that needs to be addressed, and this is a problem that you have to understand, because you know what? Drivers are human beings. Drivers are like you and I. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have families, and they're under a tremendous amount of stress. So the point is, how do you stay ahead of the curve in driver recruiting? You need to show them that you care. You need to develop an exit interview every time somebody leaves. When that person leaves, if that person was a good driver, you need to continually keep in contact with that driver. You need to try and find ways that bring them back. When they fill out an application, that driver's been with you a while, you know when their birthday is, send them a birthday card. If you know when their anniversary is, send the wife an anniversary. During the Christmas holidays, why don't you send the wife an extra $50 or $100 for the kids' Christmas gifts? Because you know what? That sends a signal that you care. Let me tell you the worst mistake you can have. That trucker's on the road in the battle of the winter. His income is being reduced because of the hours of service restrictions, and you pull up in a $200,000 car. Give me a freaking break. What kind of signal does that send to that driver? You know, I've always said that family is the essence of life. I've always said that people are entitled to their opinions, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. And in my business, I've received a lot of very nice letters from people that I've helped. But I've also received some letters that say, you're a jerk. And my staff would say, well, don't you get offended by that? And the answer is no. If there's a good reason why that person wrote, if I fired somebody or terminated somebody and they're angry, they have a right to express their opinion. I don't agree with it, but they have a right to do that. But the point I'm trying to make is that these drivers have a very hard life. And if you want to retain drivers and you want to get new drivers, you've got to create a different environment out there. Yes, they want to make more money. Yes, they have to make more money. I mean, look at where we are. I think the statistics are only 54% of the entire population is working full-time. So if you want to improve your driver recruiting, and you want to make a difference, and you want those people to stay, you need to let them know that you care. Not just the dispatcher cares, not just the operations manager care, but you as the owner care. If that means that you have a potluck once a month, if that means that you send out birthday cards, if that means that you send out anniversary cards, if that means that that driver has gotten good fuel efficiency, better than most for that month, and you give them an extra check, those are the things that are going to endear that driver to you. It's very important that you talk to your dispatchers and they learn how to do proper load planning. Quit just loading the damn truck and focus on profitability. And if that driver has an emergency, you find a way to take care of that driver's problems. In some instances, and not in a lot of instances, there's conflict between the drivers and the dispatchers. Do drivers complain? Sure they do. Well, let me ask you a question. If you're at 50 below zero with the wind chill, and there's crap all over the road, and you call in and that dispatcher gives you some heartache, how do you think he's going to feel? Put yourself in that person's position. Put yourself in that cab. And then you know what? You're going to get a different perspective. If a dispatcher, they should have been, but if a dispatcher's never been on the road with an 18-wheeler, take that dispatcher in the middle of the winter and put him in with that driver, and he's going to have a whole different perspective about life. But here's what I can tell you. Trucking moves 75 to 80% of all product in the United States. If we don't have truckers, we don't have product, we don't have medicine, we don't have houses, we don't have shingles, we don't have toilets, we don't have toilet paper, we have nothing. It is one of the hardest jobs in the world. So if you want to increase and retain your drivers, you need to do something different. And that means pay attention, let them know you care, and stay on top of people when they leave. Until next time, thank you for attending the podcast.